Welcome back to my YouTube channel, everybody. My name is Mike DeFrancesca, your local real estate agent here in the Chicagoland area. Today, we're going to be going over the 5 things you need to know before moving to Chicago. The first thing I want to talk about is the weather. Right? Chicago is known for having crazy weather. We get all 4 seasons all year long, sometimes all in one day. Your day can start off at 40 degrees, raining, and in literally a matter of like 10 minutes be like 75 degrees and sunny with not a cloud in the sky. You can go from sunny to snow, snow to rain, however you want to put it, but the weather here is crazy. However, most people really take it and go too far with it. Like it's such a really bad thing. Like it's the worst place to live in the world. It really isn't. You just need to be prepared. A lot of things I see people complain about all the time is they're freezing, they're cold, the wind, it's too much. Those same people that are complaining are the ones outside with a paper thin jacket and shorts on and sandals. I mean, what do you expect? It's 10 degrees. Winds are 35 miles an hour. I don't know what you want me to say. I'm fine. I usually have like a nice warm hat, a nice winter coat. I usually have like a smaller coat as well in case, it's not as cold outside. But like I said, a hat, a winter coat, some nice warm long johns in case it does get like below 0 or something like that. Some good gloves, a scarf. Pro tip, in Chicago, invest in a car starter. But if you're prepared for the seasons here, you should have no problem whatsoever. The second thing you should be aware of is where you're going to live. Do you want to live in the city or do you want to live in the suburbs? I know a lot of people out from outside of Chicago really think, all of like northern Illinois is Chicago. But really there's the Chicagoland area, Cook County, northern Illinois, like all that stuff, right? If you want to live in the city, then from there you need to determine which neighborhood you want to live in. I would first start with determining, do you want to live downtown or not in downtown? That's completely 2 different lifestyles there. The third thing we're going to talk about is transportation. Are you going to use public transportation or are you going to have a vehicle? Now, Chicago has tons of great transportation, public transportation, right? The metros come in from all over the suburbs, out of the state. Then we have tons of different rail systems. We have the subway, we have the L, we have the bus systems, right? There's taxis everywhere. So there's really lots of different modes of transportation. You can get a divvy bike, Uber, right? Whatever you want to do. But it really just depends what you're comfortable with. You'll hear a lot of people who talk about living in Chicago say, don't get a car if you can, right? If you don't need to. The way I see it is if you live downtown and you work 3 blocks away and, all your friends are down there and your nightlife is there, everything you do is downtown, then you probably won't need a vehicle. Now, if you live in the suburbs, I would strongly suggest having a vehicle. Depending on where you live, there may not be everything you need within your immediate area. The area I live in River Grove, I'm fortunate enough to have a huge shopping center all through Melrose Park, North Lake Stone Park, all that stuff. There's tons of storefronts, restaurants, retail, everything around. So we're fortunate enough to have that, but some of it is not within walking distance. So if you're going to be living in the suburbs, more than likely you will need at least 1 vehicle to get around, depending on where you live. So those are some things to take into consideration when thinking about which vehicle or whether or not you will need a vehicle. Number 4, if you are going to have a vehicle and live in the city, there are some things you need to know. 1, parking can get expensive. The other thing you need to be aware of are, in addition to like state vehicle registration costs, if you live in Chicago and some of the suburbs surrounding, you are required to have a vehicle registration with the city. And depending on which neighborhood you live in, you may also need permits to park on your street. And the last thing, especially if you're living in the city and you own a vehicle, you need to know how to call dibs. What I mean by that is our winters here are brutal, and not by the wind and the snow and the temperature. I mean, if we get snow and you spend 3 hours shoveling out your car, you need to put something to hold that in place. And some of you may think I'm joking. I am absolutely not joking. This is a huge deal in Chicago. People spend the time to shovel out their cars after the plow trucks come and just bury their cars, and then they pull their car out, somebody else comes and takes their parking spot. So you need to be aware of how to call dibs and not to take somebody else's parking spot. Rude. Number 5, the last thing, if you are a sports fan, you need to be aware. If you move to Chicago, Chicago has some serious sports fans. Whether your sport is football, baseball, basketball, hockey, soccer, it doesn't matter. There's all types of sports fans here. And if you're in the Midwest, you already would know this, but there's either you are a Cubs fan or a White Sox fan. The majority of the people here are either Cubs fans or Sox fans. There is no in between. There is Northsiders and there is Southsiders. You pick one, you support your team, and the worst thing you can do is choose one team and then flip to the other. If you're from Chicago and you are a Packers fan, good luck. Sorry, but it is what it is. That is it. Let me know what you guys think about the video. If you don't mind, I would appreciate a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And don't forget to check out this video over here.